Hi, good morning, everybody. Hi, I'm Andrew, and I'm so glad you can join us. I have already had quite a few people coming from all over the place. We have people from Hawaii, from people from Hong Kong, there are people from Philippines, and Filippo from I think that is from Singapore. But anyway, thank you very much for your BC weekend. Able to join us in this webinar is a very good webinar to help you to understand why exercise is so important. I will give you some really true example, because what happened is as I get some exercise, I use my Abbott Libby to measure myself, this little gadget here, and so if I exercise, you know what, my blood sugar will go down. Now this 612 is about 100 or so, 100. But what I do is before I exercise, I measure myself, and after exercise, I measure myself again. And I start realizing when I do that was very interesting, because at the end of the day, I very quickly will lose about maybe if 110, I go down to 100 after exercise. So that is really good. It's shown that it's actually use up your blood sugar. So that's why it's so important. And it's good to continue to exercise. And that's why at the end of the day, exercise can be really sort of a very important daily steps to lower your blood sugar, to prevent your blood sugar going up. I mean, that's, for the Hong Kong people, thank you, Pat, for joining us from Hong Kong. 多謝 Pat. It would take actually 1 point, where if you are, maybe a 6 point something, if this is like showing this for me right now, 6.2. After an exercise, I saw myself blood sugar went down to 5.2. So in other words, you will be like in US, this will be 110, and you drop yourself down to around 100. And plus, I noticed that the weight actually go down. So it's amazing to see ourselves actually see our weight go down and blood sugar go down. So this is going to be a very good webinar to help you to reinforce why it's so important to do your exercise. And I think at the end of the day, you appreciate all that. And so it would be good. I have quite a few Hong Kong friends come in. I just want to speak Chinese for a little bit, and then just to catch up with everybody. OK， 各位朋友，多謝香港嘅朋友啊！今日好高興咧，星期六都喺呢方面咧，大家可以見下面講下傾下偈。咁其實咧，呢個好重要嘅原因咧，就係因為第一，我哋嗰個所謂叫做點解要運動咧？因為運動真係可以降低血糖嘅。咁降低血糖有幾大幫助咧？咁我咧就一路係自己度啦。咁香港咧，如果我依家6.2咧，我會降5.2嘅1個 point 喎。喺美國朋友咧就係有100或110啦，佢哋100咁幾好啦。咁仲有磅數咧係大概可以減到1磅，所以變咗嚟講咧，你係會幫助你係繼續去減磅。咁今日講啲嘢咧係幫助你真係了解點解 exercise 好緊要。咁希望咧你繼續去 exercise， 就要行公司做 make 都好，最緊要做多啲運動啊。So I think it's so important to continue to get exercise going. And so what I will do is now I will be sharing my slides. And so share my screen so you guys can see my screen. Okay, here we go. Can you see my screen? Basically, okay. Eugene, can you give me a 2 if you see it your screen in the okay. No. Okay. Can you see my screen? Apparently you're not seeing my screen. Hold on. Can you see my screen? Okay, let's see. You're not seeing the screen. Okay. Okay, I'll try to share my screen again. Sorry about that. Okay, I will be sharing my screen one more time. Sorry about that. Just want to make sure I share correctly. Okay, hold on. Okay, okay, were you able to see it totally? Let's see, how about now? Oh, nope, 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 nope. Okay, let me see. I think we got something here. Hold on. I'll do it one more time. Hello. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to get my screen being shared first. Coming through. Hold on. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Okay, I think we got it. Can you, Eugene, can you give me a 1 if you see my slide? Do you see the screen now? I think you can. Oh, let's see. Hold on. It's coming through. Okay, we got it. Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. So you got 1. Okay, in Facebook, you can see 2. Can you see the screen again? That will be good. Okay, we got it. Okay, wonderful. Okay, everybody see my screen. Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, now let me go back down to here first. So, we'll give the lecture now. Okay, sorry. Okay, it took a little technical issue. I just, get myself familiarized again. Okay, again, I just want to take a couple minutes because there's a lot of people who just came on, and thank you for some people from Hong Kong. They just joined. Mr. G. 阮先生 I think OK 阮生多謝你 join 我哋OK there's a lot of Hong Kong people, there's a lot of Hawaii people, there's a lot of Singapore people. So 今日好多朋友多謝各位香港嘅朋友啦同新加坡朋友啦因為有啲朋友係新嚟嘅咁我講中文咧就 catch up 大家啦你知道糖尿病咧係永遠唔好嘅只係控制嘅啫咁點控制咧就係最緊要控制你血糖同埋咧你如果控制血糖咧你就唔會有不同嘅即係糖尿病嘅後患症啦，同埋糖友同埋前期患病都一樣嘅。如果你乜嘢都唔做咧，多數咧喺3年後咧，你都會轉咗個糖友噶啦。咁如果你係糖友咧，就係如果你係前期患病者，你係6.4% A1C 以下，前期患病者係5.7至6.4如果你過咗6.4，你已經係糖友啦。咁如果乜嘢都唔做咧，3年後你會轉晒真係糖友 ，OK？ 咁其實點做咧？你要有 proper 嘅 dieting 啦、exercise 啦，去control 你 weight 啦，咁你先能夠做到。咁食嘢咧好緊要啊，咩白都唔好食，白粉就唔好食。咁白粉係咩飯啦、所有麵包啦，呢啲咧如果食咗真係個 carb 好高嘅。OK， 咁如果你飲嘢咧就唔好飲 soda 啦，或者朱古力汁嗰啲全部唔好飲啦，就應該飲或者去糖茶啦。咁去糖茶會幫助你係降低血糖嘅。So I just want to reinforce everybody, let them know that make sure that you diabetic will not get well. You just continue to monitor, can control, and it has to be diet and anything white powder do not eat, and soda and drinks like that cannot drink. And basically, you maybe drink Lowsutea help you lower blood sugar, or think that you have no calorie. Lowsutea definitely help you lower blood sugar, detox, and also help you to decrease your LDL cholesterol. So that is for sure it is. So how does Lowsutea work? There are 2 functions in Lowsutea. There's a guava leaf that block the sugar going into the vessels, and that bitter melon act like insulin, take it to the cells. But one more thing, Lowsutea has a good function is it takes sugar and also takes sodium, which is they will take sugar and sodium through urine. So that will be very, very significant. That's why you drink Lowsutea. Your sugar will continue to take it out from sodium, so decrease your blood pressure and also your sugar. So that is so important. 嗱，如果你飲咗去糖茶咧，你有樣嘢咧，有個叫做番石榴葉啦，佢就會幫你啲糖咧唔好入血管裏邊啦。咁當然有啲糖一定去咗血管嘅。咁佢咧就有個苦瓜咧，就好似一個胰島素咁，將糖咧帶入個細胞裏邊。仲有一個好重要咧，就係原來咧苦瓜仲有一樣帶啲糖咧由個尿嗰度咧走，同埋佢帶啲鹽走啊。咁兩樣嘢帶走之後咧，你個 blood pressure 咧即係血壓咧就 also 降低。咁呢樣嘢係好鬼正嘅，所以苦瓜，所以點解你飲完之後咧個即係成日都要小便啊？咁其實咧就幫助你 detox 啦 ，decrease 你個所謂嘅你本身嘅糖尿啊，同埋你自己嘅，仲有一樣嘢咧就你嘅血糖降低啦 ，cholesterol 降低啦，同埋血壓都降低，即係三個都降低嘅，所以會係一個好重要嘅東西。So basically。Bitter melon has a very unique, it can actually excrete your sugar and sodium through the urine. That's why when you drink the Lowsutea, you will actually go to a lot of urination to lower blood sugar and also detox and help you to lower your blood pressure. Now, if you don't take care of yourself, and what's going to happen is your blood sugar goes up, you potentially end up with heart disease, you have vision problem, your blindness is a very common thing, or your eyes become blurred, and you have kidney disease and my stroke. Nerve damage, a lot of people don't know, it has a lot of, now more and more work with it, more and more I found out more people have actually getting nerve damage. And actually in Hong Kong, 30 to 50% of the male, they lost of the sexual function. So that can be a really, sort of a lifestyle issue again, So you also can have poor circulation and it will cut off your foot because you have gangrene. So that also last week, I showed you some of the pictures of people who started with a small ulcer, become big, and then they have to cut off their foot. And I don't want any of you end up become that. OK， 嗱，記住咧，如果你係即係如果你唔 take 嘅你糖咧，有幾樣好大嘅問題啊。第一啦，你個有 potential 有心臟病啦，你眼開始蒙啦、盲啦，其實好多糖友同我講已經係一樣嘢嘅。咁如果你腎係做唔到咧，你個腎會係有一個問題咧，亦都好大嘅，就係你會腎衰竭啦，咁你 end up 去洗腎啦，中風又一大啦。咁仲有一個好大問題咧，就係你所謂嘅 nerve damage 啊 ，nerve damage 同埋或者即係個 circulation 唔好咧，要割咗隻腳，咁就好慘啦。So we're going to talk about today. Our basic lecture is, how exercise to help you to improve your pre-diabetic and your diabetic type 2 diabetes. And so at the end of the day, we have a really bonus sessions, and we all do that all the time. It's a very delicious Jicama salad. So easy to do, and just get the Jicama. You will get that, and it's so delicious. And you can actually lower your lots of carbs, and that is the key. So first of all, in pre-diabetic or type 2 diabetic, is the same. You need regular exercise to lower your blood sugar, to reduce dependence on all medication, to lower your blood sugar. Now, I have so many customers now who are in Lowsutea and in medication. And when they start taking medication and Lowsutea together, you know what? Before just taking medication, blood sugar doesn't come down. Drinking Lowsutea actually start coming down quite substantially. Adding exercise, wow, it really came down. I have a lady who her name is Ella. She every night she walked shopping mall basically, and with that she'll end up to getting about 10,000 steps. And her A1C was 10, and now she is get down to A1C was somewhere in neighborhood. Actually, it's not neighborhood. It's 5.8. So she almost close to normal. Doctor eliminated her medication. So imagine that there are no more medication just because your Lowsutea and exercise can help you achieve that. And certainly she have very good dieting too. So You really need to work on that, and she have a wonderful life because she still eat all kind of stuff, but she choose the right product to eat. OK 嗱，其實前期患病者同埋後期糖尿患病者咧，你一定有如果 regular 嘅成日去運動啊，你係真係降低血糖嘅，同埋咧會減少咗你藥物嘅食嘅藥嘅東西去降低血糖。嗱，我有個病人咧，佢嘅名叫 Ella 啦，咁其實咧佢 A1C 係10嘅，咁但係因為佢有飲咗去糖茶啦，又有 exercise 啦，又有 diet 啦，咁其實醫生咧去到依家佢 A1C 已經去到5.8，係呢個由10月到依家即係大概5個幾月啦。咁醫生其實 eliminate 咗佢所有嘅血糖藥嘅已經 ，OK， 咁所以變咗嚟講咧，呢個係一個十分好嘅經驗。So in Lancet study, Lancet is a very important study of all medical. People think that Lancet is extremely, accurate and also is a very trusted article. They say if you increase physical exercise, actually, if you're pre-diabetic, you can potentially eliminate your pre-diabetic syndrome. So this is something, if you're pre-diabetic, remember. And if you have type 2 diabetes, you have 150-minute moderate exercise every week. Some form of diabetes, you'll be actually lower to improve your diabetic health. Basically, similar to Ella, basically her diabetic become from 10 A1C all the way down to 5.8. 5.7 is normal, okay? So I see it in my own eye. It's so wonderful. It does work, okay? 其實喺 Lancet 咧有 article 講咗2015出嚟嘅，就話如果佢研究咧，如果你真係日日運動啊，咁其實咧你首先咧你係前期患病者係會可能冇咗前期患病者嘅 ，OK？ 第二樣嘢，如果你糖尿患病者每日做每個禮拜actually 150分鐘嘅 exercise 咧，其實你係可以將你個糖尿係更加 control 好啦。咁其實咧我亦都見到我哋自己嘅糖友咧，因為有 exercise 有 diet 有諗 Lowsutea， 佢依家冇藥食，已經係轉咗由10去到 A1C 5.8。咁如果我想做呢樣嘢咧，咁各位真係要努力做呢個 exercise 啦啊 ，OK？ So really exercise can improve your insulin health, okay? So the question is, how do you improve insulin's health in that sense? Now, exercise actually lower your blood sugar, and how does it improve your insulin health is because when you exercise, it improves the insulin sensitivity. So the insulin will basically help to take the sugar much better, more efficient, take the sugar into the cells. So for pre-diabetic or diabetes, when you exercise, your insulin sensitivity become improved. So it become better. So you have less insulin, what I call resistance. So that is what help you to decrease your blood sugar. Now, if you have a lot of exercise, your blood sugar definitely will go down. You know why? Because your muscle, your organ will use up those sugar. Okay, so that's why it will be good. So if you're walking after your meals, after your dinner, is really give you very good use of the excess sugar. And that's why you need to exercise, especially after dinner. I think a lot of my client now, every time after dinner, they take a 5, 6, 7,000 walk at a shopping mall in Hong Kong. I'm sure in Hawaii, you can actually go in Alamana shopping mall, can work on that too. So in Singapore, you can go to other shopping mall. So all you folks can make sure just do it because reason why I would say walking shopping mall is good because it is covered, rain doesn't bother you, it's cool, and it's good. OK 嗱，其實咧真係咧運動咧係幫助你令到你胰島素咧唔會咁多抗拒啊。咁你當你胰島素唔會抗拒嘅時候咧，你胰島素特別好用咧，將啲糖推入去個細胞裏邊。咁咧，尤其是呢糖咧，會係喺個 muscle 同埋所有 organ 用咗佢，因為你 exercise 啊嘛，用個 energy 啊嘛，咁你用咗多啲糖用咗佢咯，咁你咪少啲糖啦。咁所以其實咧最好咧就係食完晚飯或者食完 any meal 行下。我啲糖友依家行嗰啲咧，全部食完飯咧行大概7000至10000步嗰啲咧係好健康嘅。So exercise will be 係對你10分好，對你糖嘅 improve 嘅 insulin health 10分好嘅。So The first thing when you exercise, you're actually building what? Muscles, okay? You are not building fats, you're building muscles. The reason is because when you eat your 70-80% your glucose, your body, those sugar might not only go into the bloodstream, is also going to your muscles. So you want to train your muscle to get more glucose. So the glucose can able to store in your muscle. More muscle you have, the more you can able to capture the glucose. Less muscle you have, less blood sugar will be captured, so you have less glucose. That if you have less muscles, then your glucose will stay in the bloodstream, doesn't go into muscle. You're more glue and mushroom. So what you want to do is build muscle, get the sugar into the muscle instead of staying in the bloodstream. Okay， 嗱 ，exercise 一個好重點嘅，第一，你 exercise 嘅時候咧，你係標緊你嘅肌肉。標緊肌肉嘅時候咧，原來70%至80%你嘅糖咧係會將你個血糖咧放咗喺邊度啊？肌肉 ，OK？ 咁所以如果係多啲肌肉擺咗去用咗你嘅糖咧，係好過你係少咗肌肉，佢用唔晒呢啲糖咧就擺喺邊度啊？血管裏邊，咁變咗咧就多糖喺血管，which唔正仔係咪？一定係標你喺個肌肉嗰度，多糖喺個肌肉嗰度。咁所以咧 exercise 對你係好重要。So remember, when you exercise, you're building more muscle, you utilize more sugar into the muscle instead of letting the sugar stay in your vessels. So secondly, when you exercise, you know what? You also improve your weight loss. Now, this is real because I can tell you, I weigh myself before I go to exercise. Usually my weight now is 198. When I exercise, only one night I exercise, I minus 1 pound, is 197. Now, certainly you will gain that back if you drink water, you eat, you'll gain it. But every night you chip up a little by little, by 1 month, you get what? You minus 1 pound. Don't think that the minus 1 pound, they won't get it back. They will get it back. But at least every time you chip a little bit, eventually 1 month later, you get less 1 pound. So when you exercise, you can improve your weight loss, and that's real. Secondly, you improve your A1C because if you lose 5 to 10% body weight, you have 5 to 10% A1C minus. So in other words, if you are 10, if your A1C is 10, you 10%, you minus, if you are A1C is 10 and 10%, you minus, then you become 9, or you are 7, your A1C was 6.3. So this is the kind of thing that you want to continue to improve your A1C. So that will be really good. And also when you have diet, you help your weight loss because, like for example, do not eat a lot of calorie stuff. When you eat less calorie, less carb, you will definitely weight loss. The carbs, you want the weight loss, you should do about 150 gram carbs whole day. So if you are not able to do that, 200 gram is your maximum. Don't go 300 because then your weight will not get lost. And plus your calorie has to watch also. So you need to continue to measure this so you know. So all the food you eat, you should look at, wow, is it a lot of carbs, a lot of calorie? So you have to lose that. If you lose the weight and your outcome, you will able to get less, you will exercise, you lose your weight because your exercise will burn off your excess calorie, you have more metabolism, it supports your muscle, and you get more sugar going inside your muscle, and also you maintain your body continue to lean. So if you walk 1 hour, man, you will definitely, your weight will be lost. So maintain loss every day, measure yourself, then you can able to understand what your weight result. I measure myself every day, my wife measure every day. We know every day will chip little bit by little bit, and by the time 1 month, guess what? You lose 1 pound. So you need to have that kind of target, okay? 嗱，減輕重磅咧係 definitely 會幫助你咧降低血糖嘅。咁尤其是咧，當你係降低5至10% 你個磅重咧，你 A1C 亦都會降低5至10%。例如你嘅 A1C 係7嘅話，咁10% 就減7就6.3嘅咯喎。 咁所以變咗嚟講咧，你係幫助你繼續降低你 A1C 嘅。咁同埋咧，你亦都你自己食嘅嘢啦，你會降低啦，唔好食咁多肥嘅嘢啦 ，carbs 啦。咁你其實每個月咧，每日啊 sorry，只係食幾多啊？150 gram 嘅 carbs 咧，你就會能夠令到你真係降低你嘅磅數血糖嘅。如果你有200咧，其實就係 borderline 咁，即係咁大㗎啦，唔好過咗200。咁如果你降低 exercise， 佢要降低磅數咧，真係要用 between 200至150啦，最好就150啦。咁仲有 exercise 咧，你係會繼續因為你係 burn 緊你啲 fat 啊，你個同埋用緊呢個 muscles 啊 ，burn 緊你嗰啲 calorie 啊。咁所以變咗嚟講咧，你一定會令到你個weight go down 啦，同埋亦都令到你個 muscle build up 啦。咁仲有咧就令到你 body 咧係減咗肥啦，咁更加係瘦咗啲啦。咁呢個係對整體總體係 very good 嘅。So improve your weight loss has to be exercise. Imagine diet exercise will definitely help your A1C and will improve your A1C. Now, this is an interesting item because a lot of people don't realize the visceral fat. You know, your big tummy here, big tummy here. Now, you know, if you go to doctors and you go to your diabetic clinic, you know what? Every time they measure your big tummy and see whether you are adding this size, instead you're 38, 26, or 30, whatever. And now I'm actually getting, I noticed, you know, because I exercise, you know what? My tummy is getting a little smaller. Used to be 40 inches. Now it's 38. And even 38, and my pants kind of loose. So I'm thinking I'm now 37. So what my target is 36. Wow, that is wonderful. Because, you know, if we are from people from Hawaii, a lot of them, they have a fairly big tummy, or people from wherever. I think a lot of Hong Kong people, I just met another guy yesterday who is actually interesting. Lowsutea was very interesting. He has a big tummy, and his big tummy, and he's telling me, he said, hey, you know, I cannot lower my blood sugar even with medication. And I can see why, because 1, he doesn't exercise. 2, he doesn't diet. 3, he basically didn't drink Lowsutea yet, okay, but he is thinking of drinking and do something. But the problem is his tummy is so big, he must be about 43, 44 inches, okay? So net result with that is continue to actually hamper and they will actually, because of the fat, and studies show that if you have all these visceral fat, actually develop insulin resistance for both pre-diabetic, diabetic patients. So net result, you know, all those fats is actually hampering your insulin working toward to the cells. So really you are screwing yourself in that sense. So you want to lower that. How do you do that? Has to be exercise. I can tell you, I used to, my big tummy, when I didn't exercise, my tummy was big, was 40. And it took some time, took 2 years, exercise, diet, to get down now 197. Wow, took work, man. It is work. And the fat cell, by the way, it makes body harder to use your insulin. It worsens your insulin resistance. You know, when you have fat cell, the insulin doesn't work well. So it increases your insulin resistance. So important to losing this fat, belly fat here, and decrease the insulin resistance. So you really get on a lot of exercise. 嗱，其實咧，琴日咧，我有個堂友啦，喺即係大家傾下偈。咁其實點解傾偈咧？就因為佢想買我哋去糖茶。咁但係見到個大肚腩，佢最多係43寸、44寸，好大㗎啦已經。咁原來佢又冇 exercise，又冇 diet。佢依家就好彩咧，佢就我想我啲去糖茶。咁但係個問題咧，其實佢有2樣嘢都未做到喎 ，diet 即係控制食品，同埋佢有冇 exercise。佢重磅好大，咁其實所有嘅大肚墩咧，其實係幫助你更加增加個胰島素嘅抗拒。咁如果多呢個 fat 即係肥高喺呢個肚腩嗰度咧，你胰島抗一路係咁抗拒嘅，咁所以變咗啲胰島素帶唔到糖入去咧，咁就繼續而且差啦，血量差啦。所以咧一定要盡量嘅方法咧係降低你個胰島素嘅抗拒。咁其實點做呢樣嘢？一定要運動。嗱，我自己都做過啊，因為近時我225磅嘅時候咧，我肚腩咪40寸，係 take 咗2年嘅時間，每月1磅咧，減到而家197，哇，好辛苦啊！原來要做咁多嘢喎，但係我血糖 very good now， 咁所以變咗嚟講咧，呢個係一真嘅，要自己做啦，對唔住啦，食藥咧冇幫助，因為我呢個堂友都話咩，食藥減唔到佢血糖，咁佢依家都高嘅，因為佢依家成10啊9啊呢個 A1C 㗎，咁所以變咗嚟講咧，最緊要佢依家開始做一 step， 第一飲血糖茶，咁我就教佢話唔緊要啦，依家你開始行咯。要行公司啊，每晚1萬步啊，話唔係一個禮拜你行3、4次公司啦，咁佢依家就肯去試下呢樣嘢。So you got to actually lower your blood sugar of the visceral fat by exercise, and basically maybe you can start walking some shopping mall every other night. 10,000 steps will definitely help. Now, also you have to improve your vascular health. In other words, what does that mean? Now, this is called a total circulation to benefit vascular, including your oxygen, nutrients, your cell. All these organs are tying together with muscles and all that. If you exercise, improve your circulation. When you circulate more, you know what? Your lung become expand, your heart pump better, so your heart muscles are being better developed. And so you actually reduce several things. One, you reduce your diabetic risk to be diabetic complicated. You reduce your heart risk to be bad. Third is you decrease your neuropathy, which means your nerve damage, because you increase circulation, you stimulate more nerve, so your nerve become more sensitive to feel it. And then the last but not least, you don't lose your vision, because when you don't exercise, your diabetic become high blood sugar, your vision will be affected. Now we have about December, we have a class on vision, and maybe later on, I think we have a class 2 sometime end of this year. We will have another talk about diabetic neuropathy. So you can talk more about a specific. I have quite a few of customer already come back and say, wow, I cannot see, I blur. So basically the blood sugar is getting too bad. So you gotta watch that, okay? 嗱，改變血管咧係好重要嘅，因為咧你 exercise 嘅時候就咩？你個心泵大啲啦，你所有血管嘣嘣行出嚟啦，同埋咧你氧又多咗，你個肺又大啲啦。咁變咗嚟講咧，你因為做呢樣嘢嘅時候咧，你個細胞亦都會躲多啲糖出嚟入去裏邊啦。咁全部都好正嘅，你所有 organ 都 work 緊嘅，咁就好重要。咁但係因為做咗呢樣嘢咧，你糖尿病同埋前期患者病咧，你會降低咗嘅。咁仲有一樣嘢咧，你個 nerve damage 亦都降低，因為你喐得好緊要 stimulate 晒 nerve 啊嘛。咁變咗你個 heart disease 又降低啦，即係你個心臟病又降低啦。你眼盲嘅機會有啲少，因為你糖尿病少咗啦，用咗啲糖喺個 muscle 度啊嘛。咁所以變咗嚟講咧，呢個係對你全身都有幫助嘅。So now, one more thing is when you high blood sugar, you know what? Your vessels are all inflamed. Really? Whoa! A lot of people didn't know. Actually, if you look at the eye, the vessels are actually also inflamed if it grew all over the place. That's why it's so important, especially when you not only pre-diabetic, when you have diabetes, early diabetic, you can develop that very easily. If you're a serious diabetic, you can also develop what they call atherosclerosis, which is building plaque up on the vessel, which I see it right here. Now, actually, when you are pre-diabetic, remember when I talk about that already? When the first stage, when you have high cholesterol, that's the time your cholesterol goes up. And then you're going to start building plaque because the glucose, which is your blood sugar, and the cholesterol will build up together. Your blood become thick and forming plaque. So the next stage, you know what? Your blood pressure going up. And you don't do anything, continue your lifestyle, there's no sign or symptom. The third stage is your pre-diabetic will come online. And the fourth stage, you don't do anything, your A1C will move over to 6.5. Aha! You are diabetes, no longer diabetes, no longer pre-diabetic. So basically, you really need to think about do not form this plaque called atherosclerosis, because you are actually, when you form that, you increase your blood sugar. 4th stage, become a diabetes. Usually people don't even know about it. And I found majority of our pre-diabetic patients go to buy insurance or go to health check. They were totally surprised. My cholesterol goes up. My blood pressure also goes up. You know what? The doctor already told me now. I'm pre-diabetic. They were shocked. And basically the reason is just what I told you just now. And on top of that, you know, another thing that's kind of scary is also declining cognitive function. Basically, because the sugar is stop clogging your brain micro blood vessels. When that happens, you're going to start forget. You're going to say, I couldn't remember the person's name. You keep losing memory, deterioration. Now, last time when Professor Lawrence Chen was talking about, this is talking about now they got classified these patients with Alzheimer's disease, amnesia. They will call it the class 3, you know, type 3 diabetic. So that is really coming to be something they talk about. And then if you do routine exercise, you basically lower the high inflammatory and you decrease the arterial plaque. So in other words, when you exercise, this thing is going to go away slowly. They won't go away all the time. They're going slowly. So you decrease the plaque form, so you decrease your blood pressure. Your blood pressure should never over 130. You should over about 120, 125 around the range. Your diastolic should not be over 90. It should be sometime around 80, no more than 85. That will be your target. So I had talked about that last couple of lectures, but that is very important. You have to follow through. Now, 記住，如果你個糖係高嘅話咧，你所有血管咧都會係已經有發炎嘅跡象，即係壯大咗啊！咁嗱，記住啊，如果我哋好多人咧就話有 cholesterol 啦，有嗰個膽固醇高啦，咁膽固醇高係點樣啊？佢原來同埋啲糖咧加埋晒你血管咧，嗰啲血裏邊咧就會好 thicken， 即係厚咗啦。厚咗咧 form 咗呢咁嘅 plaque 咧，咁你血壓就好高咯。咁呢個第一個就係膽固醇高，第二個咧就係血壓高，第三咧，如果你再唔做咧，你就變咗前期患病者，呢個變咗第三嘅東西啦。如果你再唔做嘢咧，你係會係過咗6.5咧，咁你就俾糖尿病啦，3年啫喎，好簡單㗎。所以其實咧，所有嘅糖友，如果你係已經糖友嘅，尤其是咧。當係嚴重糖友，你一定有好大嘅問題咧，就係你嗰個所有嘅即係血管裏邊咧係硬化咗，同埋好多 plaque 喺裏邊，好多硬化嘅血塊喺裏邊。咁咧呢個咧係會幫助咧做咗好多筆唔好嘅東西，令到你血壓高啦、心臟病啦，呢啲全部會出現嘅。同埋仲有一樣好大問題啊，記憶啊，因為好多你嘅糖友咧，有時阿婆婆點解佢成日問你阿仔食咗飯未啊？阿仔幾日翻嚟啊？問咗10幾廿次，個原因啲糖塞咗個腦嘅時候咧，個腦咧係過唔到去啊。咁所以其實上一次咧，阿 Professor Lawrence Chen 話俾你聽咧，依個咧就好多時咧叫做 Type 3 Diabetic 第三型嘅 Diabetic 就係糖友唔記得嘢嗰種 amnesia 同埋 Alzheimer disease 啊。咁所以其實 exercise 好重要咧，就幫助你能夠將你個即係發炎個血管發炎咧係降低咗佢，咁你冇咗嗰血管裏邊嘅硬塊咧，係幫助你係少咗頭先所講嘅東西。Okay, now so important. Your exercise will definitely decrease your cholesterol benefit and also increase your blood pressure. Now cholesterol will lower. Mainly the LDL, because they decrease the inflammation, your blood flow, you exercise, so you actually lower your cholesterol and lower your blood pressure. As I mentioned earlier, if you are working a lot, your vessels have to expand to make sure you work. So your plaque will basically become get less. And on top of that, your blood pressure will because you exercise, you use your blood flow, so your blood pressure will go down. And all that all these will improve your general heart health. Your heart will be improved. Plus your sugar are being used, so it also improves your diabetic condition. So all in all, those are very good things to do because most of us are three high. Three high is blood sugar high, cholesterol high, blood pressure high. Exercise, you lower the three high. 嗱，記住我哋海有糖友咧都有三高嘅，有糖高啦、血壓高啦，仲有咩高啊？膽固醇 LDL 壞嘅膽固醇高啊！咁呢樣嘢咧係真係對我嚟講唔係咁正仔啦。咁所以變咗嚟講咧，當你係做運動嘅時候，真係會降低你呢個三高嘅。如果你係有個因為你血管咧係硬，一路係咁喐啦 ，exercise 喐得好緊要噶嘛，咁將啲血咧就泵得快咁，將嗰啲 plaque 咧亦都唔會即係比佢更加 plaque 係越整越少啦。咁同埋咧，亦都 cholesterol 咧用咗佢，同埋血又嗰啲血又會係泵得快啲啦。咁同埋 muscle 用咗你嗰啲糖啦。咁啊降低咗血糖啦，仲有咧就幫助你係將啲血管係脹大咗佢啦，因為你 exercise 啊嘛。咁主要向內嗰個做咩啊？個 blood pressure come down 啦 ，OK？blood pressure 個即係嗰個血壓降低啦。咁其實我哋咧當你 exercise 咧最好咧，你一定會降咗你嘅上壓咧係唔會過120、125啊、30嘅，即係做完 exercise 坐20分鐘你睇到㗎啦。咁仲有咧就係依個你個心咧係會少啲chance 係有心臟病啦，同埋糖咧就會降低，所以 exercise 係好重要嘅。So remember, your exercise will be helping you to improve your cholesterol, especially LDL, drop LDL come down, LDL cholesterol come down, and lower your blood pressure, which will be below 125 and below is best to below 120. Your diastolic will be below 80, no more than 85, but best is below 80. So all that will good because when you exercise, you know what? Your blood vessel will be expanded. When expanded, your blood pressure will drop. And so use up your blood sugar. Yeah, guess what? Less sugar in your bloodstream, your blood sugar will drop. So all in all, it will decrease your 3 typical high. Now, that's another one is so important because you really need to restore your nerve function and the joint health, okay? A lot of diabetics don't find that, gee, they don't feel pain in the lower extremity especially. And that's scary because it happened to a lot of my clients now. They found a little blitz of ulcer on the heel or on the bottom of the foot. They don't feel it. You know why? Because the nerve damage, so they don't feel pain. On top of that, a lot of these people also have a lot of insulin resistance, so they got frozen shoulder because they don't move much. So they don't move around. So net result, they have frozen shoulder, the joint have pain, but some of these pain might not be feeling it. And some of that, they will feel the pain. And a lot of this pain is because they have insulin resistance. So the more you move, more you use the sugar, more you improve your insulin resistance. So the pain should be more go away. So the nerve damage is really become lessened because when you move, you actually improve the nerve circulation, also sensitivity. All that will be good. Now, certainly, if you don't move, the nerve damage will continue to persist and getting more and more. And then because your nerve damage increase, your arterial function also decrease. So now circulation become less. Now, especially these people are always don't move much, especially lower extremity don't move. They tend to have more overweight. They tend to don't move. They tend to have more nerve damage. So when you exercise, you decrease your diabetic pain, you improve your neuropathy, improve nerve health and joint function. You exercise, you strengthen all the mobility of the joint. When you move up like this, you get improved the joint. So net result, all those are benefit to restore your nerve function and joint health. So really important to move. Mans are made to move. So you don't move, sit around, that is the issue. Just like my new friend who come in, Man, I look at him. I said, do you move around? And no, I sit around. And your tummy is 40-inch big, or 34, 40-inch big. And then now he want to do something. So he will need to take a lot of effort to lower his body fats, moving around, and make sure he move all the joint. So a lot of that people not necessarily actually has to go to do a lot real fast. The important has to move. So you have the barbell to do that. That will be doing that too. So you can do that. You definitely can do that. I did it. I'm sure you can. 嗱，各位朋友，因為咧，其實咧神經系統咧同埋關節痛咧係常見喺糖尿前期患病者或者糖尿患病者裏邊嘅。因為咧，當你係糖尿病咧，好多時咧會有好多所謂叫做關節痛啊。咁關節影響咧就係因為好多時咧你有個所謂叫胰島素抗拒啦，所以痛啦。仲有如果你唔喐嘅時候，我啲 nerve 係梗晒嘅，你腳底下亦都梗晒嘅。咁你唔 wake 又唔喐嘅，好多人咧就好過重磅啊。咁嗰啲神經系統咧，因為冇咁多 stimulus 啊，咁越整越梗噶咯。咁啊好多時咧，可能亦都令到痛啦，亦都唔喐啦。同埋仲有一樣嘢，如果神經系統真係唔喐嘅話咧，好多時咧你腳底板咧有少少損傷，你 feel 唔到嘅。咁所以其實咧好重要，繼續喐，繼續做多啲 exercise， 繼續行，咁就 stimulate 翻個 nerve 嘅 function， 咁咧就即係個神經系統嘅功能咧，咁你就最難度咧，最難度唔會繼續差落去。咁你如果喐得個joint 啊依啲地方咧，會係亦都關節啊能夠有翻個 function 咧，亦都幫助你嘅。咁所以變咗咧好重要咧，你繼續係努力咧。去做運動咧，就 reduce 降低咗你啲咁嘅不同嘅痛楚啦，同埋你個神經系統咧能夠增加翻去多啲嘅功能啦。所以呢個叫 range of motion exercise 啊，你要咁喐，其實你唔使行，用咁都做到嘅。你企喺度都可以做到，就係撳嘣嘣，隻腳喐下咁都得㗎啦。或者企喺度，你用個叫 stepping， 買個單車 stepping 都得嘅。咁呢樣嘢咧係可能夠全部做到，所以冇問題嘅呢個。一定可以做到呢樣嘢，所以呢個咧就幫助你係可以咧做咗你自己嘅東西啦，係幫助你係可以能夠令到咧你係可以降低你嘅好多不同嘅問題，所以呢個係一個好重要嘅環節啦 ，in a way 即係 restore 你個 energy 啦，係咪 ？OK， 咁咧仲有一樣嘢啦。咁原來點樣去 start 個 exercise 咧？其實好多人都唔知道咧。原來 start 個 exercise 你要計劃性嘅 ，OK 嗱。So how do you start the exercise? You must plan your exercise. You cannot just I will start exercise. You start exercise. So you must plan your exercise. Well, what do you mean planning exercise? So I need to know how do I plan my exercise? How do I go with my for example, how much step I do per week and so forth. So very important, you have to always think about doing exercise and doing your medication together, and maybe make sure you don't just keep doing exercise without taking a medication, because you or you take, especially people with insulin, when you exercise, you take insulin, your blood sugar might drop pretty quick. So you have to be worried about that. So you make sure that you don't have did a lot of exercise and you don't worry about your insulin might become hypoglycemic. So that is become important. Or you'll be hyperglycemic, you doing exercise, doing planned diet, your blood sugar shot up a lot. So that can be something you have to concern. So when you exercise, you have planned how many days you're going to do it. And then is your medication fitting to exercise? So sometimes you even have to talk to your doctors to arrange, make sure you have to do that. 嗱 exercise 咧真係要知道你有冇打胰島素啊，因為打胰島素嘅時候咧，你其實啲糖會低噶嘛，咁你 exercise 嗰陣時啲糖亦都會低喎，咁可能咧你就變咗太低糖啦。咁你記住咧，每個糖尿病者咧都會有粒糖喺個袋度，有咩事咧低糖手震啊、出冷汗咧，即刻食粒糖。呢個係好重要嘅，所以要有計劃嘅，唔係有 exercise 做下打胰島素。如果你食藥都有咁嘅問題嘅。咁你一定要知道呢樣嘢 ，so you have to plan your exercise with the medication, make sure when exercise if you're medicated, you make sure that you have a key piece of candy in your pocket in case your blood sugar drop too quick. Then you take a piece of candy because you got a cold sweat or whatever they come along. Then you have to be careful. You always should be test your sugar before you exercise. Now, actually, it's good if you have an Abbott Libby. If not, you can poke your finger so you know your blood sugar is not real low first. So now you know I'm 5.6 because I just had breakfast. I drink my Lowsutea at 5.6 now. Earlier was 6 point something. It keep coming down. So it's important to check your blood sugar before you really go on your exercise. Is important, and you can do it after exercise if your blood sugar know where it is. I can tell you when I use this thing to check, I'm 1 point off. In other words, I'm 5.6. When I exercise finish, I'm 4.6. So it's very, very good. In other words, if you're 100, by the time you finish, you're 90. So that's how I go. So 如果最好咧就可以，如果係嘅話咧，你未運動之前咧度一度血糖，度完晒之後，佢又再度一度血糖，咁你就知道你自己血糖幾多咧，咁你就知道 exercise 有幾大幫助你。嗱 ，each week you should do 150 minutes per week for the exercise, and every exercise you should do about 45 minutes, start it off, eventually move to 60 or 75 minutes. 150 minutes, you should at least able to get 10,000 steps already. So that would be very good for you. So make sure that you start off small or slow, eventually extend it higher time. That would be perfect for you. 嗱，記住運動咧，你要150分鐘一個禮拜嘅。咁一個禮拜裏邊咧，可能你話開始嘅時候，我未必做咁多喎。咁好啊，唔緊要啊，你可以半個鐘頭先，或者45分鐘先。然後45分一個禮拜，然後咧就或者去60分鐘一個禮拜，然後75分一個禮拜，慢慢增加上，最後就150分一個禮拜。當你做一樣嘢咧，一定係做得 very good 嘅。So really, you want to be a gradual approach, not over do it in the sense that you're able to increase risk of heart attack because you overstress yourself. Or pain or injury, so you do it slowly, okay? So besides walking, you need to do yard work or trash going out the house or cleaning the house. All those will be okay because you just want you to be moving all the time, okay? So very important you continue to move. 嗱，記住咧，你去做 exercise 嗰陣時咧，開始慢慢嚟，唔好做得太快，因為如果做得太快，債個 stress 可能變 heart attack 啦。咁你要 make sure 亦都好多人未做過 exercise， 可能夠有個 exercise injury 啦，咁呢個要小心啲啦。咁同埋咧，就算掉垃圾啊、打掃啊，呢啲都 OK 嘅。仲有一樣嘢咧，就算掃下地啊，呢啲都係 good 嘅 exercise 嚟嘅，其實唔係淨係行，最好就行啦 ，OK？So you can also start off a low impact exercise. If you have a mobile item in home, like a bicycle, or you can stand up using a barbell and you doing this, that will be okay too. This is the barbell and you're walking a step master. A step master is a very cheap stuff and all you do is just go up and down, same place. A step master is small, and it costs you maybe $75 or 500蚊港紙 to get a step master. So you can do that. It's very easy. And you can able to get yourself some so-called weight-bearing exercise to build what? Muscles, basically. You want to do muscle. That result, you get back your feet sensation, skin breakdown, all those things. It will help you to increase circulation. And also, it will help you to give you some large group muscles exercise. This is also okay. The large group muscle exercise, you do squatting. So squatting will able to do that. Certainly, I know a lot of people cannot do, push up, but squatting will do. And maybe with the barbell, you'll achieve that. 嗱，你哋係需要一啲所以有嗰個所謂個磅數嘅 exercise， 即係磅喺個 weight 嗰度咧。咁你買1磅或者嘅啞鈴都做到㗎啦。咁你 go up and down， 咁呢個咧係要半個鐘頭先做，即係做半個鐘頭嘅。咁你可以買個叫做 Step Master 咧， 好平嘅啫。呢個 Step Master 大概500蚊港紙有㗎。咁佢話埋咧，你 burn 咗幾多卡路里？嗱，唔好 disappointed 啦。你做半個鐘頭，原來哇，仲 burn 咗300個卡路里嘅咋？係啊，冇錯，真係嘅，即係300卡路里。所以你飲杯可樂就已經300個卡路里，所以唔好飲可樂啊。所以其實咧係好重要做呢樣嘢嘅。咁當然啦，如果做啲大啲嘅肌肉運動咧，就可以做到一樣嘢咧，幫助你咩咧？就嗰個係一個即係 squat 啊，就踎上翻嚟踎㗎啦。咁仲有咧行啦，仲有 jogging 啦、hiking 啦、bike 啦、dancing 啦，呢啲全部係好嘢嚟嘅。yoga 都好嘢嘅，或者游水啦。所以呢啲咧全部係所有你希望做到入去你個 routine exercise。So important, you're gonna get exercise by walking, jogging, biking, dancing. Dancing is a very good exercise, by the way. Yoga, so weight training, swimming, all those are part of the regular exercise, but you gotta put it in a habit. Every week I will do so many of these, so then you can able to get your regular routine up. So basically, that is what you gotta do your exercise. And when you do that, I can assure you, you lose your weight, 1 pound, maybe once a month. If you walk every week, 150 minutes, spread it in 3 times, you're gonna get your diet. I can assure you, your weight will lose. 如果你係做夠150分鐘一個禮拜，再加埋你嘅糖，唔係加埋你嘅食嘅嘢，係減低你嘅糖同埋你嘅呢個exercise 糖咧，我係 guarantee 你一定係會減磅嘅。So in summary, the exercise will help you build what? Muscles. Okay, muscle will burn off your sugar and store the sugar into the muscle. And exercise will improve your weight loss. When you have weight loss, 10% weight loss, you decrease 10% of A1C. So you had 7, you 6.3. So very good. You belly fat, exercise decrease your belly fat. So you decrease your insulin resistance. And also when your vascular health, you keep moving, your health, vascular health will improve. So you will able to increase your whole body vascular health. And you also lower inflammatory because when you exercise, your blood vessel will not be inflamed. Okay? 嗱，我講中文啦，依家嗱 exercise 幫助你咩啊？build up 咗你嘅肌肉啊，咁肌肉用多啲糖，你每個糖會糖低咯。第二樣嘢減低你個磅重啊。如果你減10% 嘅磅，你個磅重係減低幾多啊？減低係10% 嘅 A1C， 即係話你7 A1C 減 6.3 brother。仲有改善咗你個大肚墩嘅脂肪。如果大肚嘅脂肪解低咗咧，有咩好處啊？係幫助你降低你個胰島素嘅insulin 嘅抗拒。咁仲有咧，如果你喐咧，幫助你改善血管嘅健康，所以降低心臟病啊啲嘢。第5啦，最重要咧係 lower 咗你個血管嘅發炎啊。So all that is very good for you, okay? So now then when you exercise, you also improve your cholesterol, decrease the LDL, you decrease your blood pressure, also decrease your blood sugar. So all that will be continue to improve. The 3 high is very important. It also restore your nerve function, your joint pain, because when you move, you stimulate your nerve will give more function. Your pain, your rotation of, so all these shoulder pain will be decreased. And so at the end, you have to really plan for your exercise, including diet, your medication, test your blood sugar, start before and after. And you have to decide what exercise go into your routine. In other words, every week I will walk 3 days. I walk 10,000 steps every time. So I will get 30,000 steps. So you put it as a routine and you'll be very successful. But last but not least, you drink Lowsutea to help you lower blood sugar, LDL. And at the end of that, it will lower blood pressure. 嗱，記住，你會飲exercise 咧，降低咗你個 LDL 嘅膽固醇啦，你個 blood pressure 啦，血壓啦， 仲有因為你 exercise 咧會降低你個 nerve improve 咗 nerve function 啦，降低個 nerve damage 啦，同埋啲joint 嘅痛啊，即係你個膝頭哥啊、關節痛啊，啲全部 improve 咗你喐啊嘛。咁仲有咧就係、如果 exercise 咧，仲有一樣嘢咧，你要有 diet 啦，又要睇下你食嘅藥咧。如果打胰島素嘅話，你要睇住未做 exercise 先啊，睇咗你個血糖係低啦。如果係低嘅話，你就要知道你血糖低點解啦。咁同埋仲有一樣嘢咧，就各種嘅訓練咧，你要做翻一個有紀律性同埋習慣，堅持每個禮拜做同樣運動。咁同埋最重要咧，即係飲血糖茶啦。血糖茶真係幫助你血糖低啦，同埋降低你 LDL 低嘅。咁呢個咧就係最好嘅辦法。咁呢個就我 summary 啦。咁我依家咧就介紹咧就係做一個好好沙律，係幫助你係會覺得係好容易做嘅。Now I'm going to give you a real good salad recipe, easy to do. You can do it as a snack, you can do it at lunch, you can do it for dinner. It's so good, it's so easy to do. So it's called Jicama Salad. Jicama is a fruit about this big, okay? It's a vegetable about this big. So I will show you the video and we'll start now. But before we do that, you can start. One thing is, can you actually take a picture of the ingredient of the sauce, how that is? So I go take a picture real fast. Can you take a picture now? Just take one picture. And you need a Jicama. Do you put a Jicama here? Oh, there's one more thing I'm missing here. Notice there is half a cup of mayonnaise. You need to have mayonnaise, half a cup of mayonnaise. I think we didn't type this one. We will type that. 呢個說明書嗰度咧要有個半杯嘅沙律醬啊，記住呢個少咗嘅，咁呢個要。So I am sorry, I need to add that in. I noticed the typo just now. So you need a half a cup of mayonnaise to add on to the sauce, okay? So just keep that in mind. So take a picture now, and then we'll go from there. Okay, now you take a picture. So now I'm going to go on the video. Hi, I'm Angela Lowsutea, president. Hey, you know, a lot of friends asking me, you know, they want a really delicious lunch or snack or just a great salad, but not just lettuce and tomato. So I had gotten this called Jicama cucumber celery salad or snack. Actually, I eat this practically every lunch. It's very delicious, only about 4-gram carb. It's easy to make. So I will chop quite a few, you know, the celery and also the cucumber and also the jicama. So we already chopped it up. I'll show you how that's being done, also making the sauce. Hi， 各位朋友，我係 Angela Lowsutea president，你好。嗱，好多朋友就話：喂，我想買啲 lunch 咧，又好正嘅，唔可以蒸嘅，淨係食菜。咁有咩好食啊？又要少carbs 嘅，咁 OK 冇問題。我有個叫豆薯，豆薯就係呢一個豆薯。咁我依家教你點剪開佢，同埋咧有啲cucumber 啦，同埋咧有啲芹菜啦，咁切晒，咁我切咗粒啦已經，咁容易做。最重要做個 sauce， 個 sauce 咧其實咧就應該我再講個原料話俾你聽。So now we're gonna go with the sauce, okay? It's very simple to make. One, we're gonna have 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, 2 tablespoons of water water. This is just regular water, and then half cup of mayonnaise, and then 1 teaspoon of whole grain mustard. And then we have just, you know, salt and pepper. Very simple. 嗱，其實好簡單，有呢個檸檬汁啦，然後就一個 tablespoon 嘅檸檬汁啦，然後2個 tablespoon 嘅水啦，然後咧就半杯嘅沙律醬啦，白色沙律醬啦，同埋最重要咧就係呢個就1匙羹嘅mustard 芥辣啊，呢個有whole grain 嘅芥辣，咁然後就 salt and pepper。咁首先咧， 可以切咗呢個嘢。咁呢個咧就係豆薯啦，豆薯係咁樣㗎，記住。咁咧其實咧就要揾呢個咧咁一路切，咁你就切咗之後咧，你睇裏邊係咁嘅，睇唔到啊？咁然後整晒之後咧，你就可以做一粒粒，咁啊做晒一粒嘢，咁就切咗佢之後，然後咧擺喺雪櫃。咁第二日食嘅時候咧就可以就係依家最重要整嘅 sauce 嘅啫。So after you peel the skin, very simple, cut in bite size. Now we're just gonna make the sauce. Now the sauce is very simple. Now I already have, you know, the half a cup of mayonnaise. I dish it up on mayonnaise. Miracle Whip is okay. Any mayonnaise is all right. And you just put the lemon juice in there. Lemon juice. I will mix it together. Lemon juice. And after you mix it, you can easily, you know, make the lemon juice. And I got the water. Make the water in there too. And then after that, you will just continue mixing, and then I'm gonna get my mustard in there. You see, that's how it look like mustard. And then I'll just put my salt and pepper. That's done. That's how easy. And then after you finish, then you can able to keep the sauce, but you're gonna make it real smooth though. That's the thing. You have to make it smooth because right now it's not quite smooth yet, but you're gonna make it all smooth. It takes, you know, about 1 minute to mix to make it smooth. So pretty much done, mix, okay? And after that, then you are ready to, basically ready to get your sauce. You should put it in a sauce dish or put it on a, you know, a little, you know, a plastic container, hold it and put it in a refrigerator to chill. That's all you do. 咁你係咁 mix 就得㗎 ，mix 晒所有嘢。嗱，咁咧就可以咧將呢個咧好簡單，其實咧最容易啦。嗱，我就食呢個咧就呢個豆薯啦。This is the Jicama. All you do is just dip in here, and now you can try. Very delicious. You see like this? Very good. And then some of this, and some of this, and dip in here, and you can eat this, and now you are so enjoyed because it's nice and chill, refreshing, and you can eat the whole lunch like that. Excellent. So have a very easy to make recipe, good for lunch, good for snack, good for midnight snack, only 4 carbs. Goodbye. Okay, so now is a question and answer time. So we will answer some of your questions at this time. So, okay, now the first question is, we have quite a few questions from different places. So one of the first question is Lancet study. The Lancet study, the one that I mentioned is mainly reversing the pre-diabetic. Pre-diabetic meaning they are from 5.7 above to A1C to 6.4. And they actually, with the exercise, they actually drop back down to 5.7. So in other words, they reverse the pre-diabetic. Now, I see people who actually now in our group who drank Lowsutea, exercise, diet, they went down to 5.8. So they no longer are a diabetic, but they became a pre-diabetic. Under 6 is 5.8 is a very good. It's close to 5.7. So I see in my own eye, quite a few patients went down to 6. So it's really good, 6%. This is A1C, 6%. So imagine that they are so good and become A1C 6%, okay? Now, secondly is, so how soon the exercise you can do after your meal. You should rest about half an hour. And then when you exercise, you should not run, you walk. And so you are gentle walk first, eventually you catch up the speed to walk more. So that will be very easy to do. 嗱，頭先問咗咧，喺Lancet 個 study 咧，個 reverse 個 diabetes 咧係前期患病者，唔係糖尿患病者。即係話，如果你6.4之下，佢會轉翻去5.7 ，OK， 咁就好嘅咯，其實嚇。咁仲有咧，如果你係食飯啦，食完飯你休息半個鐘頭行咧係好嘅。你慢慢行，唔好急，唔好走，慢慢行。行到咁上下咧，你先加快，咁你就會好 OK 嘅。Another question is insulin sensitivity is the same as insulin resistance. It's pretty much the same because when you have sensitivity low, that means you have to get more insulin to come out. So there will be more insulin resistance. In other words, resistant meaning that is not sensitive and they don't take the sugar into the cells. So you best to have exercise, improve the sensitivity to insulin, so more insulin going to cells. So insulin sensitivity 同埋個 insulin 抗拒都一樣嘅。exercise 就幫助你多啲 insulin 出嚟，可以用得落去 cell 度啦，咁你就唔會咁多 insulin 抗拒啦。Okay, so how do you improve weight loss? Now, weight loss, you have to weight yourself. Basically, after exercise, you weight yourself. You definitely will able to know you are having losing a weight. So I start off, I remember when I started tracking myself 225 pounds. I start moving myself to 1 pound a month for 2 years something on. So now I'm 198. Now don't forget when you weight yourself, you don't stay the same. In other words, 198, you will go to 199. And then next one, you go 198. Eventually, chop, you slowly, you be 199, 197. You go back and forth. Eventually, you'll go slower toward to the lower weight. That's how we will end up. But importantly, you have to have diet, exercise, and you really weight control, see your fat belly, does it come down? That make all the difference. And when you have that weight will go down. Okay? So 如果 exercise 咧，點去知你係咪重磅唔重磅咧？你就磅自己啦，磅咗自己你就自然知嘅，每日係幾多磅。但係記住磅數咧，唔係話即刻會彈咗上去，或者跌咗落嚟就會 stay 喺度嘅，會上上落落嘅。但係終歸咧上上落之間咧就一路慢慢係向下行，咁就最緊要嘅。Okay, now building your muscle. How do you know muscle? A muscle will have a scale, so you have to buy the scale to measure muscles. So a special weight scale will tell you your weight of the muscle. So maybe that's the kind of thing that you want to buy. I think a scale like that costs $100 US, or in Hong Kong costs $500. So 5 Hong Kong, which is about $75. So you need a scale. Will give you a bone weight, muscle weight, and water weight, and all kind of things that identify. So you need to have that. 磅個 muscle 幾多咧？個 muscle 係會 identify 嗰啲嘅，即係嗰啲特別磅啊！嗰啲磅會話俾你聽有幾重，你bone有幾重啦 ，muscle 有幾重啦，佢會話俾你聽，由嗰度先睇到嘅。OK。The reduce of vascular fat recommended by Target. The thing is that typically for Asian, we have to have a waist belt of 36 inches. 36 inches. So mine now is 38. So I have 2 more inches to go. I used to be 40. So I'm coming down. I think right now I'm about 37. So our target is really 36. So if you don't have 30, you have 40 something, you got it coming down to maybe at a range of 38 first, and eventually get more to 36. So that will be your target. So 肥個肚墩肥咧，你一定男士啊 Asian 男士咧大概36寸到啦。咁唔得嘅話，你係38寸啦。其實我依家都38寸，但係我近時係40寸，咁減咗2寸噶啦。咁依家慢慢落嚟噶啦。So you able to coming down slowly. Now another thing is how do you lower your? Could you repeat about the diabetic stage again? Lower the inflammation. Okay, now that is a very important concept. Okay, because when you have high blood cholesterol, first thing, your blood cholesterol and your sugar, blood sugar will mix up in the vessel, and that blood will become thick. When it becomes thick, it will form plaques on your vessels. All around here become plaque. And that result, when you have less space in the vessel, what's going to happen is your blood pressure next stage will go up. And when next stage go up, you know what? Your blood pressure go up, and you don't do anything, you don't exercise, you don't change diet. The next stage you're going to have is your blood sugar goes up, you become a pre-diabetic. Your A1C will move from 5.7 over next to between 5.7 and 6.4. You are pre-diabetic. If you don't do anything, you don't do exercise, you don't do dieting, you don't decrease the weight, in 3 years, you are convert to a diabetes when your A1C over 6.4. So basically, you have 4 stages, and this 4 stage, you don't do anything. In 3 years, you become a diabetes. And this is a pretty much research, and everybody saw that. And I see that for myself also. I notice my blood, cholesterol go at LDL. Didn't really bother me much because no sign symptom, no incentive. And the next day, blood pressure go up. Oh, wow, I need to do a little bit, but it's still not incentive until one day I saw my blood sugar really goes up until my blood sugar was moving toward to 6.5 until I see my blood sugar way before and went up to 6.9 A1C. Then I said, whoa, I need to do something. I aggressively doing that. And now my A1C is 6. I'm still a pre-diabetic, and a couple of quite a few of my clients actually come down to 6 now. And one of my special clients, Ella, is 5.8. So you can do it. I have a Hawaii friend. His A1C now is 6.6. So a little more work, he will come down to under 6.5. So he will be off insulin. It will be very good. So I'll encourage him to be really moving to that direction. Okay, so you improve your cholesterol, blood pressure. When should I taking my blood pressure? Okay, your blood pressure should be always take in the morning, not before exercise you can, but always in the morning and also at nighttime. When you rest, your blood pressure is always taken before you actually go to sleep or when you get up. So that will be the best. And you must have 20-minute resting. In other words, you cannot just do the exercise and then you take a blood pressure. It's not going to be good. It will be up. Blood pressure will be high. So you should rest 20 minutes before you take your blood pressure. 嗱，如果你係血壓高，唔係 sorry，你個血壓幾時度咧？每次度嘅時候咧，你一定係度20分鐘休息咗之後先度，唔係你 exercise 之後即刻度，如果冇意思嘅。因為你知道你係休息咗你嘅血壓，你先能夠知道係點樣嘅，係咪？咁你就要20分鐘，最好就朝頭早起身度一度啦，然後夜晚臨瞓之前度一度，咁你 OK 嘅。第三個困難，so restore your nerve function, joint health, lack of exercise, major cause of insulin resistance. Well, lack of exercise definitely will increase the insulin resistance. It's not the only thing because of no exercise, insulin resistance go up. It will increase your insulin resistance. So when you exercise, you decrease insulin resistance. There are other things will also cause insulin resistance. So, but exercise is one area to help you to decrease insulin resistance. As far as, like for example, fat, your belly fat will increase insulin resistance. Okay? 嗱，其實咧，頭先講咗啦，如果你係唔去運動咧，你個 exercise 係咪可以能夠improve 咗你個insulin 嘅抗拒啊？真係啱嘅嚇。咁如果你唔 exercise 咧，係咪淨係佢依樣唔 exercise 啊？依樣嘢咧，其實唔係，仲有肥都係會有嘅，即係高啊肥高咧 係有好多 insulin resistant 嘅 ，OK？ 咁所以變咗咧 exercise one of the thing 即係有一樣嘢咧係能夠令到 insulin resistant 係好啲啦。So the next question is how to start exercise. The minimum the question is what minimum glucose reading do you recommend before you exercise? What is the minimum glucose reading recommend after exercise? Now, when you exercise, your glucose, most likely, if you are a diabetic, most likely exercise, your glucose will be 7 or 6 point something. It's all like that, or could be 8, 8%. So those are okay to do exercise because you already in a high range, right? But if you exercise, your sugar already 3 point something, or you're already in 80 range. So that's the sign you're gonna need to watch a bit because when exercise will go further south. So you need to maybe take some sugar with you to make sure that you are not in that range, or make sure you drink some juice or whatever to boost up your sugar a little bit before you exercise, because you don't want to, when you're 3 point something or you're at 70 or whatever, you exercise, you drive you down to hypoglycemic. That's not good. So important, you need to do that. Now, after exercise, your blood sugar will be around 4.5, 4, lowest is 4, or you'll be 80, 90. Those are good blood sugar. So 去完exercise 之後咧，咁你就應該你個 blood sugar 係大概4咁上下啦，或者4以上啦，或者係你應該係有80以上啦，或者70幾以上啦，會唔會 OK？ 但係唔好低過呢個啫 ，OK？ So importantly, you gotta have understand, you poke your finger, or you can use Abbott Levy to help you to understand a little better, like this thing over here. So you can measure yourself. And now I'm 5.3. Oops, sorry. So right now I'm 5.3. So is a good blood sugar. Okay. So I just dropped my monitor. Okay, I think I answered all the questions. I hope there are any other question you drop it on the chat window. I don't think I have any more questions. I really appreciate everybody who joined me on this exercise, help you lower blood sugar, lower blood pressure, lower LDL. It's a really very good webinar to help you further understand why exercise will help you. Thank you very much, Edwina, Wason, and Eugene, and all the people from Hong Kong and Singapore, Philippines, joining my webinar. I appreciate that. I hope you can pick up some new idea. And we will see you next week. Next week, I want to do something very unique. We're just going to give you a little bit information on a very simple lecture, but we will give you a very good recipe. It's called lasagna, but only 19 carbs. And you can share with all your friends during Easter weekend to enjoy Easter weekend, but with a very good recipe with only 19 carb lasagna. 意大利粉啊，下個禮拜我整個意大利粉俾你食啦。我 lecture 少啲其他講書嘅東西，但係幫助你咧做一個好容易做嘅 lasagna， 係個意大利麵。呢個意大利麵咧係19 gram carb 嘅啫，咁啊俾你一個好嘅節目咧，令到你係喺個復活節裏邊咧係享受你嘅 lasagna， 同埋你屋企人都係享受，因為呢個屋企人食咧都係一個好食嘅。Because all my family tried lasagna, they said, "Oh, this is real good." Exactly. I want you guys to enjoy the weekend next week with a great lasagna and share with your family a lasagna party, but only 19 gram carbs. Isn't that great? Have fun. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you very much again, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.